Alright, my first task for today is going to be to get all the nails out of my wood. It's all the wood that I'm going to use. I got brackets, little conduit brackets on there, nails, all kinds of stuff. Just a part of using reclaimed lumber. You got to get all this stuff out of there. Nails here. Couple of them down through here. A few on the other side, so it's going to be a while. Once I get that done, I'll start cutting the rafters to length and getting ready to make that beam for the front side. Alright, so I wound up getting 15 good solid boards out of all that pile. Got a few more here that I can use pieces of. Those shorter ones. So they'll be good for something. I'll use them for gussets or braces or something. And I got these 4 here. They're actually new boards. They've never been used before. I bought them from somebody that was moving out of state. They wanted to sell them real cheap. I'm gonna cut 12 of those down for the ceiling. I'm gonna use these 4 here to make the laminated beam to go across the front of the shed. Here's the beam. Not quite as perfect as I'd like it to be, but when you're using old lumber, it's hard to get everything exactly straight. The idea is that this little slot right here is where I'm going to cut the power poles. I'm going to cut a slot out of them, put them together, sandwich it, squeeze it together. Both ends will be like that. I think that'll be a little stronger than just sitting on top of it or whatever else I could do. Alright, let's get it up. Here's what I was doing. Cut the slot out of the top of the pole. See how I cut this in, then I cut it down here so that I could put that slot from the laminated beam on top of it. And doing that, I just use my tractor to pick it up, put it on there. Of course, I just rough cut both sides. And I think I got close enough that I can level it. That's how the bottom side looks. You can see it just kind of sits right there on the pole. I was trying to get it as close to the outside as possible. But I may have cut it a little off over here. Maybe I can push it back that way just a little bit. Get it right. If not, it's not that important. Does anybody know what kind of bug that is? It's very strange. I've never seen one before. Alright, here's my plan. First, gotta level the tractor out because there's a slight hill there. There's a turkey just running right up beside us. Wild turkey. Alright, so plan is to lift the board up here to nail to these boards here. That's how you do it when you're by yourself. Alright, so that part of the job is done. Got the rafters in. All I gotta do now is put the slats across the top up here for the tin to screw to. I'll be ready to touch this floor up, start putting the sawmill together. Alright, so here where we're at today. Got the lathing put on top of this shed. About ready to put the tin on it. These pieces sticking off the end right here. Not real sure yet how to measure to get them right because I'm not doing typical lengths, which is a problem with using reclaimed lumber, is that you can't always get it perfect, meaning that everything comes in certain lengths, like tin comes in 3-foot wide sections. So in order to get an exact piece on the end, you have to measure it in, length of 3, which is pretty easy if I'd have went 18 foot or 15 foot, 12 foot, whatever, would have been perfect. But since this is like 19.6, that's where our problem is. So I'm gonna leave these a little long, put the tin up here, figure out how much I need, and then cut these ends off right here, wherever it needs to be. Alright, if you want to get pretty close on your screws going down through your tin, what I do is I just figure out where the center of the board is. I put a nail in it. So get that nail in there. Run it all the way down to the other end. On that end, I've got another nail right in the center of the opposite end. So once I get that, I can take my drill and put those screws on the other side of that line and get them close. Not perfect, but close. Alright, I think that's going to do it for this video. Tomorrow, get out here and finish the few pieces of the floor up. Put these boards back in there that I took out to put them together and get the poles in the end of them. It shouldn't take too long, but then once I get that, I'm gonna try to put that sawmill together. Get this little piece back here. These here I didn't take off. They were already off. That's where the other boards were bolted to it. So you can kind of see the shadows here, right there, and right over there where the wood looks newer. That's where those 4x8s were nailed to it. So I think that's going to be good. It gives a lot of shade. I think right out here I need another one of these willow oaks to just pop up. It's a fast growing tree. Things just come up out of nowhere 2 or 3 years ago, and it's gotten that big. There's another one right there. Be nice if they would just, one will pop up there, one will pop up down there. That'd give me enough shade to not have to put complete sides on this thing to block the sun. Be kind of bright. Pond's looking full. Still doesn't hold water. Maybe it will someday.